join our Patreon. Did Jesus Exist series. We are Myth Vision. Did Jesus Exist? Dr. Robert M. Price. Tacitus. Many apologists use this, of course, to try and base their claim on extra biblical sources for the historical Jesus. And we've heard a lot of them use, there's so many external sources, not just using the Bible, we can prove his historicity. The Roman historian and senator Tacitus referred to Christ, his execution by Pontius Pilate, and the existence of early Christians in Rome in his final work, Annals, in AD 116 approximately, Book 15, Chapter 44. The relevant passage reads, "Called Christians by the populace, Christus, from whom the name had its origin, suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of our procurators, Pontius Pilate." Scholars generally consider Tacitus' reference to the execution of Jesus by Pontius Pilate to be both authentic and of historical value as an independent Roman source about early Christianity that is in unison with other historical records. What do you have to say to that?
Even if that's what he was talking about, it again has the problem of he lived too late to have supplied eyewitness testimony. Nobody even claims that, or to have gotten it from eyewitnesses. It's pretty clear that he, unless you insist that he had access to some sort of court records, which there could have been. I think Justin Martyr and Tertullian refer to such records, assuming they're there in the archives someplace, but we don't know of any. Except that when Christians came to power, they destroyed the Acts of Pilate, which purported to be the actual Roman record and didn't make Jesus look too good, though it's lost. We don't know what they said. And they replaced it with another text, the Acts of Pilate, also called the Gospel of Nicodemus. But it could be he got it from some sort of court records, but it doesn't even claim that, and it's much easier to assume he just was telling what Christians were saying. There's just no... it might not be, but that seems to be the most natural answer to it, though some scholars have said pretty compellingly that this looks like an interpolation too, for the reason that, again, there are plenty of Christian writings about persecution and martyrdom, but nobody mentions this about the persecution of Christians under Nero for a couple of hundred years at least, and they're talking about the subject. Why wouldn't they mention this? Who knows why, but if they didn't, they didn't. And you got to wonder, this is kind of big news if it happened. Now, another possibility is that he's got his groups mixed up, because it's been, like I'm just reading in Joseph Klausner's book, Jesus the Jew, about 1912, he said it makes much more sense, given the way it talks about these Christianoi, that they're messianists, but not Jesus followers, because why would Nero pick them out to kill, blaming them for the burning of Rome? We don't know of violent Christians, whereas there were zealots who did stuff like that, and Pilate must have crucified some of them. So Klausner and others think that they're just not talking about Jesus Christ and his followers. So again, it's iffy, but even if he did write it, and even if he meant Christians, it's too late in the day. It's like seeing, Jesus is mentioned in the World Book Encyclopedia. He must have, were they in any position to know? They're just reporting what is said. So no luck with Tacitus either, I'm afraid. Could be authentic, etc., but just too debatable.
I heard that the Procurator, I heard that was a misstatement too. Is that true?
I'm not quite clear on this myself. I've heard that, but because what once was called a prefect was later changed to procurator, or vice versa. I just read about this and I can't keep it straight even then. But that might be just an innocent slip. I'm kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt on that. But I don't know. I don't know that would be enough to sink it necessarily.